Hey everybody, welcome back. Kershaw Knives here in the Portland, Oregon area in the USA reached out and said, hey, we have a few knives we think would go great on your channel. Can we send them out to you? And I said, heck yeah, let's do that. We got to see what Kershaw has to offer. And I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with what they got going on. So we have an Iridium series of knives today. We're going to cover a new reverse Tonto web exclusive that's coming out. We have a mini Iridium. We have the launch Iridium. I'm really excited for that. Now, let's go ahead. Let's take a peek at this one. This is the Iridium RCF, the 2038 RCF. We're going to look at this one, and we're going to go over some specs with the standard one. Now, what do you get in the box? You get a use and care manual. Now, they do have a limited lifetime warranty on these knives, so you can go check them out here in their website. Also, in person, they have some awesome warranty being done. So, this one is the 2038 RCF, and I'm believing this is going to be the reverse Tonto in carbon fiber. Now, this one is a beauty, and I do have to say, overall, this one's being made over in China. They have some USA models as well, but I have to give them credit on this one. This Iridium is a really good size EDC for me because large glove size hand. This has carbon fiber, kind of that burnt orange aluminum backspacer anodized. You have a deep pocket carry clip. You have their Duralock crossbar lock. And I have to show you, look at this. How smooth. Now, you know I'm all about the crossbar locks. You know I'm about the thumb studs here on this channel. However, I'm also about that smoothness. And you may say, how do they get so smooth? Well, they are on KVT ball bearings. And I have to get used to it because this is so much smoother than being on washers. And a lot of you know the goodness in this. So you almost have to kind of readjust because, you know, some of that smoothness coming out and back, just listen to it. Just closes. Now, this Iridium, I thought I was going to like the Bel Air in size better, but this Iridium is actually really nice. Now, reverse Tonto, I'm a huge 940 fan, so you know I like the blade shape already. It's got a really nice dark stonewash to it. So you can see the Kershaw laser marking, just a little bit of jimping, which actually is nice. It keeps that thumb from sliding around. You got the dual thumb studs. Now you can go right or left-handed tip up carry on this deep carry pocket clip. You got a little finger choil kind of cut in here and kind of a finger guard more or less so that finger doesn't slide up when you're cutting. You do have a little bit of information here about the model number, and this is an M390. M390 with the carbon fiber. That burnt orange is beautiful. The only thing I would do on this model, just to change a little bit, I would probably get a darker pocket clip, but that's me. That's me. So like even a darker stonewash one, this isn't super bright. As you can see, it has a little stonewash to it. It's just me being picky, but it does match everything, which is beautiful. Or maybe even like a burnt orange pocket clip. That'd be pretty sweet. But I have to say, this is the 2038 RCF from Kershaw Knives, the Iridium, and it's the reverse Tonto and carbon fiber. It's a gorgeous one. I could probably talk about it for another 10 minutes because it's one of my favorites, but there's a couple more that we want to cover. So let's put this one on the table. Now, we're going to save this one. Well, I don't know which one do we do next. Let's do this one. We'll just go ahead and do it. This is the Iridium RTI, 2038 RTI. Now, this is going to be a web exclusive on Kershaw's website. This is going to launch February 28th. You get the same use and care manual. You can also do scanning of the QR code, limited lifetime warranty, all the awesome stuff. So this is going to be an exclusive, and you can already see the goodness in this one. Oh my, a little anodized aluminum in the OD green for the backspacer. They didn't forget about the lanyard fans as well. They didn't forget about the lanyard fans. Now, this one's a heavier one than the carbon fiber, but look at it. It's so fantastic. This is an S35VN. S35VN, a beautiful one. It's already got some markings on it, probably from when we looked at it on the live stream. If you were on the live stream, shout out to the live stream, represent, give a little shout out in the chat. But this is a titanium S35 exclusive. Now, this is going to be an awesome one on their website, February 28th through March 2nd, 2025. Special pricing on this one, $169.99, $170 for titanium handles, an S35VN, deep pocket carry, that Duralock. You can't go wrong with the Duralock, which is their crossbar lock. Got black hardware. I love it. Now, maybe in the comments we can discuss. Do you go black clip with black hardware, or do you match it up with the stonewash, the beautiful titanium look? I gotta say, I'm kind of torn, because on this side, it looks gorgeous, titanium. And over here, you get a little bit of, blending in, but maybe you don't want that pop. You don't want that pop of color or that big, huge transition. But what do you think of this one? Web exclusive, Kershaw Knives. I will put a link to their website down below. Check it out, bookmark it, put it in your calendar, because February 28th, these will go on sale. Special web pricing, $169.99. It's going to go fast. An S35VN, that just a beautiful, beautiful reverse Tonto. And super smooth. There's no lock stick at all on these Duralock crossbar locks. Just trying to hit it as hard as I can on deployment. Nothing. And you can go super smooth. You can just barely flip it, and it rolls right out there because it's on those ball bearings. Those ball bearings are in there. Now, overall specs on the Iridium, and this is kind of across their line of the standard Iridium knives. The specs: the blade's 3.5 inches long. The handle, when it's closed, 4.25 inches. Overall, when it's open, 7.87 inches. The blade thickness is about 0.10 of an inch, and it's, usually comes in spear point, but they do have these reverse Tontos as well. The handle width, over half an inch. It's at 0.87 of an inch. And like I said, it's got the Duralock crossbar lock, which I am a fan of those crossbar locks. So they got the Duralock in there with the ball bearings. Beautiful. And a lifetime warranty. You can't go wrong with it. But we have two really cool ones to look at. So we'll put those down there. I gotta say, though, the carbon fiber, it's because of how light it is. But you can do some cool things, I'm sure, with this titanium as well. So I'm excited to see that. So let's look at the mini Iridium, the 2051 Ti. It's a mini Iridium. So a little bit smaller version. We're going to see what goes on with it, but, a little bit smaller. Oh, this is in titanium also. You got that kind of gold brass hardware. I dig it. You got a black backspacer, and it has aluminum. Didn't forget about the lanyard fans. And we're going to compare this to a Bel Air really quick, all these models that Kershaw makes, because this one's a little smaller. It's probably 3.5 finger. I mean, if we're comfortable, 3.25 finger on it. But it still locks in. It still has that jimping, the dual thumb studs, right or left-handed deep carry on the pocket clip. Now this one has that spear point S35VN. It is gorgeous. Now you can see the grind lines on there. We're going to do a little paper cut testing. Now, if you're looking for a little bit smaller, the specs on this one, 3-inch blade, handle thickness about 0.09 of an inch. The handle length, when it's closed, 3.9 inches. Overall, 6.9 inches on the length. And you don't think that's a lot, but it's almost an inch shorter than the Iridium overall. And in the handle, the full size is 4.25 inches, and this is 3.9. So you're losing a little over 1/4 inch in length in the handle, and it's a little bit noticeable. But let's compare these two beautiful titanium ones. Look at the titanium combo on these. Just beautiful. So you can see the difference in size. The mini Iridium, they kind of just shrunk it down overall. We've had a couple companies that do that, and I like the fact that they do that, because sometimes the bigger ones are too big for people. Sometimes the smaller ones are a little too small, but it gives that just overall community feel of like, hey, this company is really looking out because they are kind of catering to a lot of people in their community, which is cool. Now this one, I've carried it already and I've shown it off on the live stream, but this is the Launch Iridium. It's their auto, made here in the USA, which is terrific by Kershaw. Shout out to Kershaw for that. They're making some awesome ones. You've seen my live wire. Shout out to JB for hooking me up with that. But this is the Launch. Now, I'm excited for this one because this is one I really think you need to get in hand. It's got a gray kind of backspacer with lanyard hole. It's got anodized aluminum. It almost has that feel of like the 940 that I'm familiar with when you have that kind of powdered aluminum feel or coated feel on the aluminum handles. A little bit of chalkiness, but that's expected. And then here we go. Just a beauty. The Launch Iridium from Kershaw, USA made. This one, can we see it? MagnaCut. With MagnaCut in the USA, a beautiful dark stonewash on that blade, which I really like. I'm not a fan of, the polished looks, like the other one here with the titanium. It's got a more polished look. That's not me for blade, finish, and you guys know that. But this button lock, easy to deploy. You can see a little plunge right there. But it snaps out with a solid lockup. But it doesn't have that hard hit where you think it's going to fly out of your hand. So I kind of dig that. I really dig that. Now you can see overall, all dark handle. You got the USA flag. You got the MagnaCut. You got the model number. Kershaw. Now here's my only rub. And I know this is a long, deep-seated rub for a couple different companies. You want that pocket recognition, right? You want to be able to see this in somebody's pocket and go, he's carrying a Kershaw. I'm more of a subtle fan of that. So unless I'm really showing it off like some of those fancy Lynch clips, give me something that's a little more subtle. Maybe like a KAI logo or something like that. But it's not a deal breaker. But I would always go for just a more subtle clip. Something that you're going to get from Lynch. Just a subtle clip, there's a wire clip replacement for those Spydercos. But overall, we're talking about the Kershaw Launch Iridium. I really like this one. I'm hoping for kind of a similar model to this too. The reverse Tonto in carbon fiber. Maybe that's on the horizon, maybe not. But either way, if they do it in a manual version with that beautiful MagnaCut blade, I'll have to check it out, definitely. But this is a really, really cool one. Now, some of you can't have autos. There are some restrictions on shipping. So definitely check out your local dealers from Kershaw on this, or the ones that you buy from online. Or you can go over to Kershaw's website. Like I said, it will be linked below. Now, out of these four, which is your favorite? Do you like the titanium web exclusive coming out February 28th? Are you a fan of the reverse Tonto with carbon fiber, or the mini Iridium, or the Launch? Now, autos, sometimes I'm kind of like, I don't know. There's no safety on that. I don't know. But it doesn't. It sticks up. The button sticks up a little bit. You can see right there, the button sticks up a little bit. But it's also not one that, it takes a little bit to push it down. So you can see how much, once it's deployed, it doesn't stick up as much. And it takes a bit to really get it in there. So you can hear it when it deploys. You hear a little bit of noise when you're pushing that down. But it's an auto, so you have to be mindful of that. No safety on it, but a smooth one. I really like this one. Now, for me, it's still a tie, but I want to know your decision down below. There's a longer video. I appreciate you hanging out because we're checking out all these Kershaw Iridium models, from the Mini to the Launch to the web exclusive titanium one to the carbon fiber goodness with the reverse Tonto. But I would still say I think my favorite's still going to go with the carbon fiber, because me, manual, reverse Tonto, carbon fiber. This is my pick so far. and you got that kind of burnt orange look. I would maybe go with a black version of the pocket clip. So maybe I'll swap that one out. But we also talked about doing a little bit of an example. Now we have the Kershaw Bel Air. We have a carbon fiber edition. We'll have a video on more of this to come. This is a gorgeous one, made in the US in MagnaCut. So maybe this pocket clip over here on this one, it'd be the perfect one for me. But let's take a peek in regards to the Bel Air on the bottom, the Iridium on the top, how much more handle and blade you're going to get out of it. Like I said, I really like, for me, the fit of the Iridium. It fits really good. And when you're looking at the Bel Air, it still fits really good. And you got a little bit of handle jimping on the bottom, so you know you're locked in. It's a solid fit for me. With a large glove size hand, the Bel Air is a solid fit. But overall, I'm still sticking with this one. That's my personal choice. Now, I will, like I said, I've already carried this one, the launch, because I had to show it off and share it with a bunch of people. But a huge shout out to Kershaw for sending these over so we can take a look at them. Now, leave a comment. You know what that means. But leave a comment. Let me know which one of these 4 is your favorite. Don't forget, hashtag DSKFS. Do something kind for someone. It's what it stands for. It's what we do here on this channel. Most importantly, have an awesome rest of your day. Take care.